I paused the video to talk about this, and I'll finish it when I get done with this because this is rather important. And this does tie in with the church to a rather large degree, but it's interesting to note the exchange and how things are changing or how they are functioning together. And the video itself is about, quote unquote, why I hate TikTok. Or at least the first video. The second video breaks it down a little bit further. And to be honest, while TikTok itself is causing massive changes within the younger population and social media with the population at large in general and becoming an integrated part of society and as our lifestyle, that is something to be wary of, because it's replacing parts of our life that would normally be spent around other people. It's replacing, something that is online is replacing a daily part of your life and the interactions that go along with it. So when things happen, you don't know how to respond to them appropriately or properly. Or in some cases, you don't handle it very well and you just go above and beyond and flip out. I've seen that a few times, and frankly, it's frustrating to try to deal with it. It can be dangerous too, depending upon if the other person happens to have issues that are just not managed. How this ties in with the church and how you flip the script, want to know how it's being a good thing. The older generation, those who are 50s and over, in some cases 40s, people in the 40s are passing away, like poor health or accidents. I mean, they're passing away, and churches are becoming more and more empty as time is going on. Social media can fill in the gap there with like attendance and connecting people together, as well as them getting I don't want to say their daily or their weekly sermons or their church service, but that's kind of what it is. They're able to touch base with other church members and to be able to worship together. That is something that is rather important, because if you care and you believe, you have faith, chances are you're going to want to spend time with other people who believe the same as you do. So, with what's happened last year, starting with 2020 and then 2021, with COVID and places being shut down and people being arrested for actually showing up at places of worship, the U.S., since I'm here in the U.S., the U.S. has experienced quite a bit of change and starting to feel some hardship when it comes down to this. Social media itself needs to be handled, and there needs to be boundaries, safeties, guidelines, and sometimes that requires to have good leadership and parents and other people that actually care, so that they can help manage with their children and those who are underneath them. In my old Army days, certain things were straight up prohibited and outlawed. And from what I'm understanding, there's a lot that's actually changing there as well. There used to be a common joke running among the troops with death by PowerPoint, how you have to take all these classes and frankly, it was boring and a lot of people end up falling asleep. It's just awful. So the joke about that is technology just kind of killed the troops there. Or at least put them to sleep. Yeah, so I'm not a fan of TikTok. I'm not a fan of some of these social media platforms and all of that. This is going a little bit past this whole selling information to advertisers so they can get bead on you with what you that right there is an invasion of privacy to a very high degree. I would have to say there is one thing that is good about it that almost no one has ever pointed out, and that is being able to, for these advertisers to pull things from your past that you had forgotten about back into focus that actually mattered. Old TV shows and movies that you had forgotten about, reconnecting you with old family and friends and people you once talked to, like it has with me. So, like, it's more of a con and a negative than it is anything beneficial at all. But it is worth pointing out because I just don't hear that anywhere else. With that said, always safeguard your privacy there when you're on social media and out in the public. I mean, even when you think you're private, you should still protect yourself and your data. Your data is becoming more valuable than your finances in some very... I can't go beyond that because I'm speculating, but your data has become just as important as your finances. Anyway, back to the point here. TikTok and social media are basically a necessary evil that helps connect you in today's world, but at the same time, so many people can't manage it, and it's just consuming everything. So, honestly, it's very much the way. It's like anything else. Take it in moderation, but too much will kill you. Anyway, it's my thoughts on this and how it ties in with the church and all that. I specifically want to say that the church will need to adapt more use with social media for them to survive. Like, they need to adapt and to change because the older generation is passing out. They need, if they want to survive, they want to grow, they're going to need to reach out in a different method than before. All right, until next time.